Mimo bibi akwaba eba Melodies TV so. Thaddeus Sory is in a brutal fight with Godfred Dame. Na enya asem ketwa. Thaddeus Sory ena yeni enim say baby an meka abambagben lawyer. Na say MPP4 intra wo mo yese wo mo twa to committee a ya set say yen the probe of Chief Justice ni mu no. Ne nsem ni mu no Thaddeus Sory nso na MPP4 yese wo mo twa to ne so. Godfred Dame has been going on radio stations and TV stations and has been speaking. Now, Thaddeus Sory ababeye writer bi afa Godfred Dame ho a enya asem kita we de o se mentwen Ghana fo nka se da bi we de meden to kwa na ye den de bre wo Godfred Dame me so minimu na me mia wo kon. Let's read the story. Now, I see lawyer for one of the petitioners seeking the removal of Chief Justice Gertrude Torkornoo, Thaddeus Sory, has criticized former Attorney General Godfred Dame, labeling him as an incongruous crybaby. The response by the petitioner's lawyer follows Dame's comments on Joy FM's Top Story program, where Dame accused the NDC government of politicizing the removal process, pointing to the petitioner's legal team, Sory, Chachichi Kata, and Oliver Baka-Vomewo as evidence of NDC bias. And you see, when I always tell you, say MPP4, Omo suffer from a narcissistic personality disorder. I am not lying, you know. Godfred Dame say the removal of the Chief Justice, no NDC4 are politicizing the DNTR. You see, Chachichi Kata ye NDC ni, or your lawyer Emma one of the petitioners. Meanwhile, no Godfred Dame no, or also your lawyer Emma Chief Justice no, or no need the end was say that be. And then interested Chief Justice ni MPP ni. Na so Chachichi Kata lawyer ma petitioners ni they are not interested petitioners ni NDC. You see how MPP4 unhu adwen. And that has been Godfred Dame on radio stations and TV stations and the likes for throughout the week. I say the response by the petitioner's lawyer follows Dame's comments and I've read that. I say Godfred Dame also claimed to have consistently defended the judiciary during his tenure. In a Facebook post on May 23, 2025, Sory refuted Dame's allegations of partisanship, citing his diverse legal history, including representing MPP figures like Ambrose Derry, Obi Amwa, and Kweku Kwatin, as well as defending accused persons in the Ghana at 50 case. Nti Thaddeus Sory catch one no Godfred Dame say, "Oh Godfred Dame, oh because me NDC ni, just because I am media someone my representing Abambagbin and the likes. Momo MPP4 to say Ambrose Derry, my representing in a case that Obi Amwa, my representing in a case that Kweku Kwatin kra, my representing in a case that it is a worker say no hunti me NDC ni dia and the Godfred Dame no nim dia worker. Also even Ghana at 50 case kra no or representing MPP4 bebre. He challenged Dame's credibility, accusing him of benefiting from controversial Supreme Court decisions and engaging in unethical practices, such as communicating directly with an accused person behind their counsel's back. Yes! Thaddeus Sory is not joking. Well, can't see Godfred Dame himself, Godfred Dame anymore. Oh, judges no, omo we nim no mo hu mobo the case amount na wo Godfred Dame and yes anka obetumi win case bi Ghana. Wa bon. Wa case in nim. Let's read Thaddeus Sory ne full write up no. I say the incongruous cry baby again by Thaddeus Sory. I say this will be direct and straightforward. No allegoric narrations. I say we there urban straight. One bam beto ton papa so say oh asumesi we there urban straight. Obi a work kan ho asem nipa ko nidim. This is because the crybaby needs another knock, and each time he refuses to heed the lesson from the previous knock, the next knock must be harder. Because crybaby, in the person of Godfred Dame, no, I will say ye sinikoto. Na ye sinikoto. Na oya na adwen say on person or koto na ye sinikoto because ye person ye trend nyansa. Bi ye sinikoto na nyansa no person obesua. I will say koto na ebesi no eye den biom. Esen die ye disi no edikan no. Because oya na adwen say unsi nyansa nti ye sinikoto aye nsi ne den. Asemwa Thaddeus Sory kalelo. I say Mr. Incongruous Crybaby has no sense of shame at all. Having failed to attract attention for some time now, Mr. Crybaby, Incongruous is his first name, has once again started screaming. This time, the forum of his mostly infamous screams is Joy FM's top story program, not his favorite forum, and you know where. Without any sense of compunction, Crybaby incongruously lamented that if there are any group of people who have politicized this process, it is the NDC government. Look at the band of NDC lawyers representing the petitioners. Mr. Chachuchi Kata, Mr. Thaddeus Sory, a lawyer who has gone on record as representing all NDC figures in the past 8 years, and who is very much associated with NDC. Oliver Baka-Vomewo, a young man who worked with President Mahama in his office. That indeed is most incongruous. Who, I ask, are the band of lawyers representing the suspended Chief Justice? In just about a month, you, yes, Mr. Crybaby, have personally appeared in 2 of the 4 suits directly involving proceedings for the Chief Justice's removal. It was a Godfred Dame nam radio station, TV station, I walk say, and the NDC for the Omohajim because Chachichi Kata ne mene Oliver Baka. Yen representing petitioners no. Na Chief Justice no, ni case no, why ena war representing no. Wunkwa no, Chief Justice no, cases, suit, funkwa 4. Wunkwa wa representing no in 2 of those cases. O di ane di enye MPP. O di ane di. Naturally say o di Chief Justice onye MPP ni won. And when I always say this, MPP for me say, I don't know where it came from, but these people, they are a bunch of narcissists. I see you were appointed Deputy Attorney General by former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Hardly a coincidence. That appointment itself was incongruous. Your elevation to Attorney General was even more so. Do you recall the host of card-carrying MPP lawyers who surrounded you? Not as a private legal practitioner, but as Attorney General during the Supreme Court proceedings on the vacant seat case. And yet, without any shred of moral scruple, you alleged that I represent an individual, Dan Ofori, solely because I am NDC affiliated, even though I represented this client long before the suspended Chief Justice was elevated to the Court of Appeal. I say, me represent you be ewo case we so a, o say enu hunti mi NDC ni. Ade na wundi hu no kware sa. Na onka wunim no kware wa asemu a wunim say answer na wu Chief Justice na representing no. Ye de no ebe Court of Appeal kra no. Na Daniel Ofori no me ye ne lawyer de dada. Sa current Chief Justice ya suspending no. Answer na ye de ne be Court of Appeal. Ni ye de na ba Supreme Court. Ni ye de na ba be da ne Chief Justice impo no. Inti ye be ye decades ago. Na Thaddeus Sory say ono eno ye sa Daniel Ofori a lawyer. It is still when them a lawyer or because me no hunti me NDC ni. I say allow me to refresh your memory on my legal diversity. Mr. Ambrose Derry, your colleague minister, was my people master. Together, we defended Malam Yusuf Issa, who was appointed by President Kufuor. I shared a night at the police headquarters with Honorable Obi Amwa, an MPP stalwart. During a politically sensitive case, I defended accused persons in the Issa Mobila criminal trial, a matter that became a major campaign point for the late President Mills. The firm Kulendi at Law can attest to the massive support I gave them in the Ghana at 50 case. Were those accused persons in the Ghana at 50 case NDC officials? To all bobo cases are or no any MPP for crano atina jail pain, at that prison pain because no defending MPP for. Embrata Mills by MPP for be a diboni a ye chi omo atu no. Inti nini na no still wa trese o ye NDC ni asem o kan no. Ask Honorable Kweku Kwatin, I represented him in a matter easily perceived as a political and anti-NDC. None of the cases I have cited involved the NDC, yet here you are painting me with a partisan brush. I say I am a professional bound by Rule 65 of our legal ethics to represent anyone who retains me, subject only to certain exceptions. If your memory is programmed to interpret everything through an NDC lens, you have my sympathy. In the light of all this, Mr. Crybaby ridiculously boasted, if there is any Attorney General who, from the start of his appointment, has stood up for the judiciary and spoken against attacks on the judiciary, it is myself. See, your present battle is clearly incongruous. It has nothing to do with principle. It is a blatant effort at self-preservation. Even that same Joy FM interview, Evans Mensah observed that you appeared before the Supreme Court, presided over by the suspended Chief Justice under highly suspicious circumstances, and now you claim to be standing on principle. As Attorney General, you benefited from a stream of unanimous and often controversial decisions in politically charged cases. You were routinely excused for legal oversights that in earlier years would have drawn scathing rebuke from the Supreme Court. Tiwaka say no unanimous decisions in kwani ediama wasame nye de na say na ne wo akwa say woni obi wo class muni na muni mo ahon de woni say ni ba ko no wabon. At the end of the day muni amotro exams wi na teacher no e mark na ni ba ko ne de bia ye ma ne 100 na muni na mo muni amohu ni ba ko onya de teacher ne amama kai emra na me wo GSS na mo adamfo bia wo ye Nigeria ni na saa adamfo na no ye Nigeria ni saa time no na ni papa yesikeni pa aje ase saa time na afiansa mobile phones nyambu ye saa time na mobile phones a eba so ye saa flip no eno na ye nde iPhone na mobile phones imbu ye saa time na ye landline ene ye use iti na me school a me was a landline cards ni bi na madam no ni papa Nigeria ni na ni papa import mobile phones iti na ni papa huska saa time na mobile phones boarding iti na ye teacher ade a onfa saa adam fo ni ndi no obi eni Nigeria obi eni se chale onya ade wo class nanso on throw exams mani fe leader ye man class work mani fe leader because chale na ni teacher no ni papa to me eba be che teacher no phone iti Godfred Dame de na saa na ye iti ne ye favor no ye be ye bone ni ye be gwa ye no nkwa edu ne so a o ni e de ache no ye be ye bone ni ye be hwe ye no edu ne so because ne papa ba be sort teachers ne out ne papa ba school ni mu di bia no ye wo GSS no twika ba school ye wo GSS no sa na je ni America na asem no twika ba school it is that time no me kai ye control BC no ye Saturday ye ba Saturday classes na ode ye nan fofo ni bi akọ restaurant ni hotel no ma ye Saturday class no ma akọ swimi iti na Saturday ya no bia be say odi na twitwika onu no be twika no sikeni tina teachers ni ndi ne ho agro kra to me ma teachers ni be lift kra tina obi eli say o guy onya de na so obe ne den ono ana teachers no be den o me favor no ye nhwe ne te say ye inti we utie asema Thaddeus Sory wo kana sa wo se wo Godfred Dame na se ye nimo uba Supreme Court a mistakes a wo ye na ko obi na ye ya na nka Supreme Court betwe na so na so wo no ne ye de achew asem a obi enim se asem a wo di no wasem enye de na so ne ahye de di ama because say ni we obi enim ye ne wa na ete ho ene ye na ye hu de ekoso adi I say for the record, I went against my personal principles and appeared on several radio stations to defend the judiciary. Despite being directly involved in related matters, I made it clear I will take action against anyone who maligned the judiciary without any expectation of recognition. And yet again, without hesitation, you proclaimed without hesitation, you proclaimed it is about time good men of this country stood up for what is righteous and what is right. If all men in Ghana behaved like you, where would the good men be to be fighting a blasphemous cause you have the temerity to call righteous and what is right? Thaddeus Sory, Nyankopon Shao, wakane kwari o. Osi ende wo baba beka say eni papa nsore ni enko ema Chief Justice no. Na wo ejuma wudi wo Ghana ha. Trimodin a wo be dane Attorney General na wo de ye enkrofo wo Ghana ha nti wo after wo tenure as Attorney General no. Eni papa bi bio mebeka wo Ghana ha. Senya wo behave ye no. Where do you expect good men to come from? Because who behavior no drive all the good men away. Chimo densem a wudi wo krum ha. O because a good man should come. What drive your money now away? You've driven all of them away. And yet again, if all men in Ghana behave like you, where would the good men be to be fighting a blasphemous cause you have the temerity to call righteous and what is right? How can a minister for justice defend a Supreme Court ruling where an ex-party order was granted within 2 hours of filing without hearing the other party? Communicate directly with an accused person behind the back of their counsel. Coach an accused person to implicate a co-accused. Your initial injunction in the Asifwa proxy case was dismissed. Now you reappear with the appropriate party and file yet another injunction. The audacity is staggering. There is no Attorney General who has contributed more to the low rating of the judiciary than you. You can't Attorney General Wama Ghana. Godfred Dame. You are the only Attorney General who has never lost a case, etc. What has changed? No Attorney General has done more to erode public trust in the judiciary than you. You wear your record of never losing a case as a badge of honor. What has changed now? As I once asked, how did your legal acumen suddenly improve just because you became Attorney General? And you see, Thaddeus Sory is raising a very serious point. Also, during the tenure of Godfred Dame as Attorney General, when Lusu case was Supreme Court da. And this is very serious. Godfred Dame and Lusu case was Supreme Court da. All the controversial cases, no, they went in favor of Godfred Dame. And Godfred Dame babe dane former Attorney General na washasi Lusu cases. Because they be na Godfred Dame de hwa ne ho ono de won Lusu case. When the better ne former Attorney General na washasi Lusu case. Na trese sa time na on Lusu case na de na ekoso. And Thaddeus Sory Sansu raise case say before Godfred Dame be babe dane Attorney General ni mpono. Sometimes no Lusu cases. Bembra babe dane Attorney General pe osizi so Lusu case. Nti no e dia nkwa no sua ya as that time no as Attorney General no when Lusu case. At the Okano. As I once asked, how did your legal acumen suddenly improve just because you became Attorney General? Now that the mystique of that office has left you, you clinched to a 3-2 loss as some kind of moral victory because at least it wasn't unanimous. Let me say this clearly. Stop the tantrums. The next knock may not be a gentle tap. It will land like a sledgehammer in a hard cast like manner. Don't be silly. Thaddeus Sory or catch Godfred Dame. Don't be silly. Sisi ade ase de yede yensafa uti sakura santono yede yensafa uti hu ntino. Eyo se ya honde ano no. Next time ye gawa ebe yo se yede hammer ebo trim. Don't be silly. Silly no. Maybe let me I want to check the silly no na men kana ewo twimu. Ati I said the meaning of silly. Silly say foolish. Hey, silly, foolish, stupid. Ati I said Godfred Dame men Jimmy wo asem wo ka no o ka Godfred Dame ye de ba twi mu a de Thaddeus Sory ka Godfred Dame no because foolish e Jimmy me bo a. Ti de o ka Godfred Dame no men Jimmy wo ho kra. Men Jimmy wo ho se wo be wo ko kan wasem aka wasem wo be bubo me din ne me aba be for nsem. Because we need much as you go ase. Men Jimmy who wo hokra. That's what Thaddeus Sory is saying. Won't try what you comment box ni mo. Me da say.